AWS just committed $1 billion to embed AI engineers directly into your enterprise. Anthropic's launching a specialized workbench for scientific research, and Apple's making AI code to its creative apps. Today, we're talking about the deep integration of AI, how it's speeding up deployment, and where the real opportunities lie for builders. No BS AI briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host, Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. All right, let's dive in. We've got a lot of high signal items this week that really point to AI moving past the fun experiment phase and into serious embedded production. First up, a huge strategic move from Amazon. AWS just launched a $1 billion forward deployed engineering initiative. Think about that for a second. $1 billion. What happened is AWS is committing this massive sum to actually embed thousands of their AI engineers directly into customer organizations. We're not talking about traditional consulting here. These forward deployed engineering teams are literally co-building and deploying production grade agentic AI systems. And the goal is in days, not months. The initial focus, heavily regulated industries like financial services and government, where AI adoption is critical but also incredibly complex and high risk. For builders, this sets a brand new industry standard for AI deployment speed and risk reduction, which is a major signal. It provides direct, almost unprecedented access to AWS's frontier AI expertise, and crucially, it signals a big shift from just selling cloud services or simple consulting to a truly embedded partnership model. What does that mean for your go-to market? Next, shifting gears to specialized tools. Anthropic has just launched the Claude Science AI Workbench, currently in beta. What is this? It's a unified workbench specifically designed for scientific research workflows. It comes preloaded with over 60 configured skills. Think things like literature review, data synthesis, hypothesis generation, and it allows for customizable agent pipelines. The big deal is that it focuses on reproducible artifact generation, meaning the outputs aren't just one-off results, but structured data and reports that scientists can trust and build upon. It's available in beta for Claude Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise users. Why this matters for builders is pretty clear. It drastically reduces the friction for highly specialized scientific AI workflows. It empowers domain experts, the scientists themselves, to build reusable, specialized agents without needing to write a single line of code. And I think this opens up a whole new category of what I call domain specific AI workbenches, where generalized AI models get supercharged for a particular vertical. Speaking of scientific AI, OpenAI has released GeneBench-Pro for scientific AI agents. This isn't a new model, it's a new benchmark. What happened is OpenAI released GeneBench-Pro, which features 129 synthetic problems across 10 distinct domains in computational biology. This benchmark is designed to rigorously evaluate AI agents on highly complex tasks like hypothesis refinement, data interpretation, and iterative workflow execution. Basically, the kind of deep multi-step reasoning a human researcher would do. The initial results are interesting. GPT 5.6 Sol, their latest model, achieved only a 28.7% pass rate on the highest reasoning level. Now, for builders, this is a very strong signal. It offers a truly rigorous testbed for evaluating AI in high value, high risk domains like drug discovery or material science. But it also starkly highlights the current limits of even the most advanced models in complex reasoning. It clearly signals a move towards highly specialized benchmarks and evaluations, moving beyond generic human evaluations to real scientific challenge problems. Also, from Anthropic this week, and this is important for enterprise builders, they've deployed real-time cyber safeguards and launched a verification program for Claude. What happened is They've rolled out real-time blocking for high-risk cybersecurity requests on both Claude Opus and Sonnet. This means the model can actively prevent uses that fall under prohibited categories or high-risk dual-use scenarios. Think generating malicious code or detailed vulnerability exploits. To balance this, they've introduced a cyber verification program offering a pathway for qualified security professionals to get a more permissive but still monitored access to Claude for legitimate security research. Why this matters for builders? It directly addresses the critical security and safety concerns that have held back AI adoption in many defense and cybersecurity sectors. It enables more secure use for defense research and red teaming while still preserving overall safety. And it sets a pretty significant precedent for tiered access models where different users get different levels of capability or guardrails based on their identity and verified intent. It's a pragmatic approach to safety. Finally, a quick but significant update from Apple. Apple has integrated AI across its Creator Studio apps. This isn't just a minor feature bump. What happened is we're seeing major AI enhancements land in apps like Final Cut Pro, Pixelmator Pro, and Logic Pro. We're talking about things like automatic captioning, advanced edit detection in video, sophisticated auto masking, natural language image and vector generation in design tools, and a whole suite of new AI powered sound tools in Logic. Interestingly, many of these advanced features require a Creator Studio subscription, and the standalone apps don't get the full AI capabilities. For builders, this is a clear sign that AI isn't just an add-on, it's becoming core to how professional software works. It's reducing a ton of manual work across creative workflows, which means faster iteration and higher output. And it definitely reinforces the trend of subscription gated AI feature models where advanced AI capabilities are a premium feature that users pay an ongoing fee for. Now, out of these stories, the one I really want us to deep dive into today is BEPA, AWS's $1 billion forward deployed engineering initiative. Why? Because I think this isn't just a new service, it's a foundational shift in how large enterprises will adopt and integrate AI, and it has huge implications for every builder, whether you're a startup founder or an engineering leader at a big company. So, what happened again? AWS is investing a staggering $1 billion to embed its own AI engineers directly into customer organizations. These aren't just consultants giving advice, these are hands on engineers who co build, co develop, and deploy production grade agentic AI systems. And they're promising to do it in days, not months. The initial focus is on those super complex, high stakes regulated industries like financial services and government, where the technical bar and the risk profile are incredibly high. Why this matters right now is pretty monumental. For years, one of the biggest bottlenecks for AI adoption in large enterprises wasn't the models themselves, but the deployment. Integrating AI into legacy systems, navigating compliance, ensuring data privacy, and just getting it into production has been slow, expensive, and risky. This AWS initiative is directly tackling that bottleneck. It's a statement that the cloud providers aren't just providing the compute and the models anymore. They're getting into the trenches with customers to ensure successful, rapid deployment. It signals a major shift in the competitive landscape where raw model performance is only one piece of the puzzle and deployment speed, risk reduction, and deep integration become paramount. This will set a new expectation for enterprise AI projects. So, who should really care about this? Founders of AI startups, you absolutely need to pay attention. This means your potential enterprise customers are going to expect this level of white glove embedded support. Can you build tools or offer services that either complement this or that are so easy to deploy that they don't need a $1 billion AWS team? There's an opportunity here to build solutions that compress those embedded deployment timelines even further, or to target niches that AWS might not get to. Product managers, you should be asking how your product can simplify the path to production. If your customers are getting this kind of embedded support from AWS, they'll expect your solutions to slot in seamlessly. Think about what friction points you can eliminate to make your AI features production ready out of the box. Engineering leaders. This initiative is a clear signal about the skills that are becoming essential. Your engineers need to be able to work not just on building models, but on integrating them deeply, securely, and scalably within complex enterprise environments. And if you're working with AWS, you might find yourself collaborating directly with their FDE teams. This also impacts your build vs buy decisions for specialized deployment expertise, indie hackers. While this might seem too enterprise focused, the underlying trend of AI as an embedded service versus just an API call is important. Think about how you can leverage or build on top of this trend, even in a smaller context. The idea of co-building with a powerful AI partner is something to internalize. How I think about it as a builder, as someone trying to ship products, is that this is like getting an F1 racing team's pit crew, not just their car. You're not just buying a faster engine. You're getting the experts who can optimize that engine, change the tires in seconds, and make sure it performs flawlessly on your specific track. The opportunities are clear: faster time to value for complex AI projects, significant risk mitigation, and the ability to focus your internal teams more on core business logic rather than the painful minutiae of AI infrastructure and deployment. It could democratize advanced AI for enterprises that simply couldn't tackle it before. But there are risks too. There's the potential for vendor lock in. What happens when those AWS engineers eventually leave? How scalable is this model beyond the initial $1 billion, and for how many customers? And let's be real, the $1 billion is a huge number, but how many engineers does that actually fund for? How long? This isn't a silver bullet. What I'd ignore, honestly, is any hype that suggests this means AI will solve everything instantly for everyone. This is about deployment speed and risk reduction, not magic. My no BS take on this is a serious aggressive move by AWS to capture the high value, high risk enterprise AI market. It legitimizes and sets a new bar for the embedded expert model. This isn't just a fancy consulting arm. It's about hands-on co-building a future where AI is deeply integrated into core business operations, especially in places where it's been too scary or too hard to do until now. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Experiment. Prototype a scientific workflow with Claude Science. Even if you're not in the science field, the principles of using a specialized AI workbench for complex information tasks are highly transferable. Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes. First, you'll need access. If you're a Claude Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise user, you should be able to request beta access to the Science AI Workbench. Once you have it, don't try to solve the world's biggest problem. Instead, pick a very narrow research question in an area you understand reasonably well. For example, you could choose something like find and summarize the 3 most impactful recent studies on the use of CRISPR gene editing for treating specific neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Make it specific enough that you know what a good answer looks like. Next, use Claude Science's capabilities to combine skills like PubMed search, data extraction, and reproducible artifact generation. The workbench is designed to let you chain these steps, guide it to search relevant databases, pull out key findings from papers, and then ask it to synthesize that information into, say, a structured summary report or a comparison table of the studies it found. Finally, and this is the crucial part, compare the speed and depth of the output to how you would manually research and compile this information yourself. Note exactly where it succeeded brilliantly and where it still had gaps, made errors, or perhaps even hallucinated some details. Be critical. Why is this specific experiment worth your time right now? Because it directly shows you the power of specialized agentic AI for complex multi-step information work. It's not just asking a chatbot, it's building a workflow. It helps you understand the current friction points, the strengths and the weaknesses of these kinds of domain specific workbenches. And even if your product isn't directly in scientific research, the concept of creating agent pipelines and highly specialized interfaces for complex tasks is directly applicable to almost any product that deals with information synthesis, analysis, or decision making. It lets you envision how you could automate similar high value workflows within your own product or internal operations. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.